And the guru and a saint?
A saint is somebody with his whatever work that he might have done with himself, he's become a pleasant being. He blesses people. A blessing is like… it's like, having your cell phone charged a bit. But it again runs out. Yes, depends on the use. How quickly it runs out depends on the use. So in India, people understood this. Traditionally they understood this, now it's just whatever. But even now, there is a certain understanding in the culture that if there is a saint, seek his blessing, it doesn't matter, you don't know who he is. See, you don't have to do anything. Now that you talked about whatever the… even if you have some film extra dressed up like a saint and make him sit there, and you bring your friend in India, any Indian person and say, this is a saint, immediately he'll go touch his feet. Because he understands wherever possible, whatever little blessing he can receive, he must receive, which is a certain intelligence, I'm saying. Wherever possible, as much blessing as possible you gather because these things run out, he knows that. He knows that it lasts only for a certain time, so wherever possible, as much as possible, you are in the airport, are you not looking for the charging port? So wherever possible, if you just… he doesn't have to be anything. If you simply say, without question, they'll seek blessing. If he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it, all I got is little exercise. What's the problem? I mean, he doesn't have an issue about it. If there is something, I'll get it, if there isn't, I don't get it, so what? So saints are like this, they cannot interfere with… interfere is a wrong word for you because it's a very negative word. They cannot fix anything about you, they can only bless you. A guru is like a mechanic. A mechanic's job is not as graceful as that of a saint. It's definitely more graceful than getting hands-on and doing all kinds of things with you, isn't it? But a guru is a mechanic. If you have a disorder of any kind, you must go to a mechanic, isn't it? I don't have any disorder, I am fine. That is a disorder. Do you understand? Because the disorder is you have not even opened your eyes and look at the existence around you. To even say that I am fine, not knowing where you came from, where you will go, what is the nature of the existence, who I am, what I am, not knowing anything and saying I am fine, that is a serious disorder. So if you have a disorder like this, then you must go to your guru because he's not there just to bless you, he's there to work with you. It's a different game altogether. If you are looking for solace, you must go to a saint, he's good. If you're looking for a solution, only then you must go to a guru. You don't go to a guru for solace because he will disturb the hell out of you. He's not here to pacify you, he's here to awaken you. He's not a tranquilizer, he's a come-awake solution. So if all you want is you want to be blessed and you want to go to sleep well tonight, you must go to a saint, nothing wrong with it. Right now, somebody just wants to sleep well today, blessing is all they need. Someone else is in pursuit of wanting to know the ultimate, that's a different problem altogether, isn't it? So for that, you go to a different place. So a guru is more like a mechanic or he's like a road map, he's a solution, he is not a solace. People come and always ask me, Sadhguru, please bless us, nothing should happen to me. I said, what kind of blessing is this? My blessing is let everything happen to you. Let everything that's life happen to you, isn't it? Let joy happen to you, grief happen to you, life happen to you, death happen to you, let everything happen to you. Have you come here to be insulated from life? Or have you come here to experience life? What is the basis of you being here? You have come here to experience life, then everything must happen to you, isn't it?
You also say that teaching is just one part of your work and a very small part of your work. And you say the greater part of your work is transmission. And that's what every guru is here for. What is transmission? Transmission of ignorance?
Transmission of the knowing that you're ignorant. When you say teaching, probably I was talking about the programs and going around the world talking. This is just definitely a very minor part of my life. Because when I speak, I'm not trying to give any teaching, I'm only trying to make people thirsty to know. I'm only here to make people realize they're ignorant. People have said this again and again. Any number of times you come there, he only reminds us in a million ways that we do not know. That's not good, he must tell us what to do. So what you're looking for is an advice. The very fundamental of seeking advice is that you want a ready-made solution for the life. And something you want to invest in the stock and you take somebody's advice, that's different. That also, it's better you figure it yourself, but somebody's an expert, you seek it as advice, that's different. When it comes to your life, seeking advice about whole life is a foolish thing to do. So, advice essentially means you want to go through life unscathed. Some safety capsule with which you can pass off without experiencing life. So people seeking advice, people seeking teachings is essentially because they think they can collect it. Because human beings have been, hunters and gatherers for a long time. When they could gather pieces of bones and tooth and this, they hung it around them, feathers and whatever. Later on it became gold and diamonds and then it becomes knowledge and scriptures and whatever, but still they're hunters and gatherers, isn't it? Unless your hunting and gathering stops, you will not know anything of the spiritual dimension. It will not happen that way. Both your hunting and gathering has to stop. You take some time to settle in a place because you come with doubts and problems and this and that, it's fine. But once something of significance has touched you, you must settle down, no hunting, no gathering, just being there. Otherwise, one will not be able to perceive this. So, transmission is essentially on that level. As maybe I have said to you also, I do not know, but I have initiated more people on this planet that I have never met than the people that I have met. People may sit in front of me and miss the whole point. Somebody that I have never met, the moment I see an opening, this will happen because this is not about talking, this is not about teaching, this is not about trying to make someone understand. The understanding is only towards that one thing is to understand that it is not a question of a mental exercise. Spiritual process is a way to transcend the limitations of the physical dimension of who you are right now. When I say physical, that includes mental, that's not something that you may approve of. But physicality and mentality are not two different things. Mind is also a physical thing. It is more subtle, it's just like if you see the light bulb, you can very clearly see it is physical, no question about it. Now if I ask, is this light physical? Now some people will think, is it physical or not? Well, when you were in high school, did you study light in your physics book or your spiritual textbook? Obviously in your physics textbook, isn't it? So it is physical. Is the electricity which is powering this bulb, is it physical? Definitely it's physical. But people may have issues about these things, that light is not physical, light is divine, light is something else. No, light is physical, bulb is physical, electricity is physical. So similarly, body is physical, mind is physical, emotion is physical. It is just getting little subtler, that's all. With this physicality, you cannot access the non-physical dimension about the borderless ignorance. See, the nature of the physical is a boundary, please understand this. A physical can exist only with a defined boundary. Without the definition of a boundary, there is no physicality. Do you understand what I'm saying? Without a defined boundary, there cannot be anything physical. Now I can call this physical body only because there is a boundary. If I remove the boundaries of this, there is no such thing as physical here. So you're talking about spirituality. When you say spiritual process, you're talking about a dimension beyond the physical, not a teaching, not a scripture, not somebody's ideology, but you want to touch that dimension which is beyond boundaries, because this is not my inspiration for you. This is what every human being is longing for every moment of his life. Whoever he is, he wants to be something more, isn't it? If that something more happens, he wants to be something more. So they want to become infinite, but they're attempting it in installments. If I put you into any kind of boundary, the moment you realize there is a boundary, you want to break it, isn't it? Because this is not a cultivated stance. This is the basis of being human. The moment you see there is a limitation, there is a boundary, you want to go beyond that. If you go beyond that, what? Till you taste the next limitation, then you want to go beyond that. So there is something within you which does not like boundaries. There is something within you which is boundless or borderless. And that cannot be named as anything. The simplest thing is to say, that's me. And that's borderless ignorance, isn't it? Knowledge is a physical thing. Spiritual process